Hello and welcome to Zandvoort here today for races 5 and 6 of the FJ Feeder Series. I have a bit of a cold today, so my voice might be a bit off, but I'm here anyway. The championship is hotting up, and then the unpredictability of the races, as we found out at last race and the one at Bahrain, is incredibly high, as always. Zandvoort is a track with a lot of elevation change, and its narrow bank corners. Well, I don't think we'll see much overtaking, but look what happened at Brno when I said that. All clear weather today, no chance of rain, so let's go down to Kai for the grid.
And I have a grid for you. So on pole position we have the debuting Devon Johnson. I don't know what he had for breakfast, but it must have been something with speed because this man gets a debut drive, pole position. This is not normal. P2 is Gianfranco Mortadini finally showing his true pace. Then the rest of the grid we have Schäfer, Bivona, Tunde, Wiebe, Mondragon, Blanc, Too Good, Clerk, Pico della Mirandola, Tommaso, Arends, Herbuth, Waltrip, Fasher, Ferraz, Bishop, Atkinson, Granville, Valyak, Ching, Regis, Thomas, Eastwood, who's also debuting, and Volchino, who crashed in qualifying, and he rounds off the grid. If I that done, let's get to the Ford red lights.
Only 4 lights to show here today, just like last weekend at Lausitz-Ring, but they're starting to come on now. All 4 lights are on. And they go green here in Zandvoort, and it is a good start from Devon Johnson from pole position. It looks like Chauffeur's got a better start than Mortadini. Might go out the inside here of Mortadini going into the first corner, and I think he's pulled it off on the Russian side.
Oh, and it's
there's a
Granville.
spin in the back. Granville and Shing, the two teammates colliding with each other, as Regis is also involved. Granville is still continuing, and that was a hectic start. So Granville gets a decent launch off the grid. Ethan Bishop get away pretty poorly. As we go into turn 1, he gets a huge hit from
Valyak.
Wow. And Valyak, lucky not to lose a front wing. The same with another car there, Regis' teammate. Regis also involved in the crash. That was pretty chaotic stuff going through turn 1. And I'm sure the team boss there will not be best pleased. Granville is still in this race though. Now, Johnson has held the lead. Devon Johnson's still leading this race, but Mike Chauffeur's now up into second place. Mike Chauffeur's home Grand Prix last weekend. It didn't go to plan. We're here in Zandvoort now in the Netherlands, which is on the border with Germany, so almost a home race. As Clerk goes round the outside of Blanc. That's a really nice move from him. And now we see
Pico della Mirandola also on the outside.
Tommaso battling with Pico della Mirandola here, going down the inside, but now Waltrips has switched up the scene and gone down the inside of him, and he's got past, I think, not quite. Pico della Mirandola sends it back up the inside into the next left-hander.
But Waltrip also on the outside.
As we're nearing the end of the lap here, getting towards the really quick last few corners. Here we go down the hill now. Waltrip's still in front, and there's a traffic jam behind them.
Look at it. Well, look at Hannah Eastwood. P25 to P15. In the span of 1 lap.
Eastwood's up 9 places. He's trying to make that 10, but no, he's going to lose one here potentially because Ferraz is on the outside now through the last corner of the track. It's almost flat out in these cars, and we're going 3 abreast down the straight here. Tommaso, Too Good, and Waltrip. Too Good defending from the pair of them. Tommaso on the inside of Waltrip, and look at Pico della Mirandola on the inside now, trying to get past. Trying to get past Waltrip on the inside, trying to get past the Dams Red Bull. Now the outside line, that is a sensational move. That is a fantastic move from Pico della Mirandola.
And there's Isaac Fischer as well, trying to fight through the field. He has Adam Herwood ahead of him.
Fischer had a good weekend in Lausitz.
Yeah, scored points finally. 19 of them to be exact.
Which is a awful lot of points. I believe, what is the maximum amount of points you can score? 40,
yeah. Which Michael Valchino scored, mind you.
That was sensational from him, but 19 is still a respectable haul, as we have Herbert, and now Herbert is trying to battle with Fischer here. Fischer's going to just go around the outside. Fantastic move again. Seeing a lot of actually nice battling here, and a lot of overtakes being done, so it seems that whenever I say that we're not going to have many overtakes, we get some pretty nice battles, so I should probably say that in the intro of every race now.
It's like reverse psychology.
Before it doesn't work. And then we're back to normal. But it's the outside lines around.
Oh, Fischer made a mistake.
Fischer made a mistake there. I thought he had the position covered, and Eastwood having to correct a bit of a slide as well. He's on the slipstream of Fischer, but he's kind of boxed in here. No, he's got past Ferraz. He has freedom to do what he wants. He stays to the outside line. as we have Ethan Bishop making a move. Sorry, Atkinson making a move on Ethan Bishop going through turn 1 and 2. Now,
And oh!
there's contact, 2 bits of contact, 2 separate incidents there at turn 3.
And that's Atkinson.
And
And the
Valyak
Japanese
involved
driver.
again.
Oh dear. She
Valyak has
ends.
been involved in another
Oh,
shunt. So we were on board with Atkinson as he got. Sorry, yes, it was with Atkinson. Was it with Atkinson we were on board? I
Oh,
forget.
it's Valyak.
No, it was Valyak has gone into the back of him. It was Valcino we were on board with.
And then it's just a racing incident between Valcino and Ahrens. They just went side by side.
Yeah. Potentially the scare factor from the car in front. But Atkinson and Valyak with Valyak in the walls again. Just like last race. And then she's put into a spin, loses the rear wing, almost flips over the wall. Thank goodness she didn't.
Yeah. Reina
Still-
Atkinson ends her streak of good positions for the Rapax team. Laura
No.
Tugud, meanwhile, defending points, unless she is a bit of a slide from the back
A lot
end.
of cars running really, really wide through that corner. It's quite dangerous because if you get too far out on the grass, there's some gravel which will really slow your car and you'll lose the grip. But thankfully, it's quite straight. It's quite straight after there's a little kink, and then it's completely straight. But still, I've seen a lot of drivers starting to run quite wide there. They probably want to be going
And
a
as
little bit
Blanc
faster.
making a mistake, and Claire goes through very
Clark goes
aggressively.
through. Tunde defending from Blanc there. Blanc getting a little bit too anxious behind him and losing a position in the process to Tunde's teammate. Yeah, Campos Racing had an absolute nightmare last time out. In both races, at least one of their cars retired on the first lap.
Meanwhile, this is battle for podium. Devon Johnson already lost position to Agatino Bivona. Bivona into P1 for Rapax, so
Just like she was at Lausitz, and now here comes Mortadini around the outside of Chauffeur. Sorry, Heat. And now it's all going wrong here for Chauffeur. He's down to 4th position, and he's got Weber and Mondragon. Mondragon was, of course, the championship leader after round 1, had a dismal race at Lausitz, where I believe he scored 0 points.
Yeah.
As we're over the crest now and onto the straight.
And there's
past the
Henrik
Kingdom,
Weber.
to the right-hander now. And Weber is really trying to get past Chauffeur here. As we approach about mid-distance of the lap, and here comes now Weber up the inside, now happy to defend around the outside. Here comes Mondragon. Mondragon's up the inside. They've both cleared Chauffeur here. Chauffeur's down to 6th position and now has the 2 Campos cars in his mirrors. They're both battling for position here. Tunde and Clerk. The HRT Campos cars. Tunde's on the inside of Clerk, and Tunde just about holds on to the position for now as we approach the last 2 corners.
Chef
But
and Mondragon still side by side, and it ends.
Chauffeur's
So,
not
oh
giving
dear.
up just yet. Now he's lost the position. And here comes Tunde. Tunde's up the inside slightly. No, he just settles in behind in the slipstream of Chauffeur. As we see now down the straight, what's going to happen here? Is anyone going to make a move? No, they all sit in behind each
Tommaso
other.
defending from Mirandola, very
Tommaso with
nice
an aggressive defense, and
jump
now
there.
look at this, it's a recipe for disaster here with Ethan Bishop and Ahrens and Ferros, but Ethan Bishop, there he goes, into the gravel trap goes Ethan Bishop. As I said, there was a recipe for disaster, missed his braking zone, and there was nothing to stop him going into the gravel trap.
Oh, and that's Regis.
Oh, Regis has gone round.
Oh!
Oh, a huge incident there.
And he's
with-
out.
That's Ethan Bishop, who's hit him. That's Ethan
Regis
Bishop
is
has just
out.
been off the circuit, and he's hitting to Regis now, having been spun around. Big hit, and finally someone has retired. I said finally, it was about time. We had so many incidents that a wheel was going to fly off, and it's another bit of contact from behind.
And it's Granville
Granville,
again.
who's been in the walls already this race. This time he doesn't spin.
I
and
mean, Bishop had
Ethan
no
Bishop-
time to react.
No time to react indeed for Ethan Bishop, just slams into the back of him.
I don't know how about the incident though with Granville here. I don't know whose fault this is.
I mean, Regis is holding the inside line.
Granville just miscalculates, clips him.
I mean, Ethan Bishop must have already been thinking after turn one, how can my lap get worse? That's how. He's got no front wing on now, and he has to drive back to the pits and get that fixed. He could probably make it to the end of the race on a new set of fuel, as Valcino did last race, of course, driving around without a front wing.
Aaron's absolutely pushing the car to the limit, sliding all the way. Look at the back end, just snapping out of his control.
That Carlin is literally dancing all over the circuit as he's trying to get past Ferros, or at least stick with him.
Aaron's is a championship contender, mind you. So,
He is.
So this is
As
an
now-
important race.
Eastwood, Waltrip, and Too Good all here. Waltrip fancies a double overtake here. He's got past Eastwood and he's trying to get past Too Good here.
Too Good dropping
Can he go
places.
Yes, he can. He's gone up the inside of Too Good and now around the
Eastwood.
outside comes the debut in Eastwood. Can he get this move done? Not quite, for sure. It's just held on to the position. But yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah, I'm looking at championship standings. Tommaso is P2, Aarons is P3, so at the moment Tommaso is the only one who's going to benefit from this race, as Valcino is absolutely gone.
He's only trotting around in 10th position right now. Valcino is out of the points, points battle.
Oh, and
Very
there's
much
a
out of it.
there's a wing.
There's another wing gone. Is that a spare wing?
I think
Or
that might have
someone
been
at
a
the
wing
front?
of Johnson might gonna lead. I think that was a wing of Bishop. Sorry.
Yeah, it must have been. No one else ahead.
This is Bivona down inside of Johnson for the lead.
Bivona's back up the inside. We saw last race. Bivona was in the lead of Laos. Feature race
And
for an awfully
Montidini
long
on the
time,
outside.
but never managed to hold it. And Mortadini's gone around the outside of Demon Johnson. That is a good move from Mortadini. Qualified second. He's back up to where he qualified, and now the Trident is under pressure from Weber here. Weber constantly running around the top. Both of the cars, Weber and
Tommaso.
both of them could really be championship contenders because they're always constantly one of them running at the front of the grid, and we see Mark Dragon and Weber going side by side through the last corner. That's quite a thrill for spectators. And now down the straight, look at the straight line speed that Weber's got. He's actually managed to pull ahead as they go into the corner, and Weber holds on to 4th place.
Yeah, as you said, Daika Team Lazarus, they are really... You can say that they are dominating the team's championship, as they just show consistency, and they know how to set up the car so they can benefit from it. I mean, they were the first team to score a 1-2, I believe, in
Indeed,
Bahrain.
yes, the only team to score
Yeah, the
a
only
1-2.
team.
That was pretty remarkable stuff. And now Weber hassling the back of Devon Johnson. I don't think he expected on his debut to be running up in the position. So
Meanwhile,
now,
look at this battle.
trying to cast behind Picadillo Mirandula for 9th position. We've got Blanc in this, and there's a bit of contact between Blanc and Picadillo Mirandula on the exit. And now Tuca's up the inside of Blanc, maybe not quite. And now Waltrip's trying to get on the act. Everyone is trying to get
And there's
past him.
Herbert trying to
Herbert's on
sneak in the inside.
Arden. Contact there, but the two teammates. So not the two teammates, I mistook. For sure, for Eastwood's teammate, of course, Regis was already involved in a pretty big accident. So it can't be him. Isaac Festios holding onto a position from Eastwood here as they fall a little bit behind from Tommaso.
And there's Eastwood on the
Eastwood.
outside. Will she
Returns to the
benefit?
outside. Now into the last two corners. The Russian time still marginally ahead, but on the outside. Can the Russian time get this move done?
Yes.
No. Sorry, yes, the Russian does get it. The Russian time does hold on to the position for now. As Picadillo and Blanc have been inseparable this entire race, they still are. Pretty remarkable stuff.
You know,
Through turn
Eastwood
one,
and Ferraz, oh boy, here they go into
Ferraz
the
and
S's.
Eastwood, they are scraping cars going through turn 1. Banging wheels, any contact here? No,
But
they all make it through turn 3 and
Aarons.
4 safely. And Aarons is trying to go around the outside of Xijing here. This is only for 18th place, but I think he might well have done it here. Excuse me, and he has done it. And
Yeah.
Aarons, the Estonian, has got himself past Xijing.
I mean,
They've been in the
he's a
wars this race.
driver in the Mercedes Driver Academy, and I think I know why he is there. I mean, look at the raw pace he has, despite starting, you know, quite low, despite being in an incident. He's still showing a lot of pace.
But I must say, that car is still dancing. It is moving around from left to right like no car on this track. Through some of these corners, it is sliding all over the place, looking for grip.
Yeah, I mean, some of the drivers during like practice sessions, they said that they complain of some cool vibrations here and there. So the cars dancing on the track will be quite a thing we have to just live with now. But Tunde onto Montidini. Tunde climbed up to P3. What have we
has taken
missed?
3rd place here. The Camposes, when we were last looking at them, they were completely isolated in 6th and 7th position. Now they've both caught up. Tunde has pulled off 3 overtakes.
Look at this.
He's gone up the inside of Chauffeur here, and into the next corner. He's going to follow Mortadini through. That's brilliant stuff from the Nigerian. And now he's taken the place on Mortadini potentially. Not quite. Settles in for 4th place. And
Oh,
now under
runs
pressure from
very
Viba's going
wide.
to lose the place to Viba. Runs very wide and loses all the positions he's just
Yeah, but
gained
speaking of
back.
Viba, he's now side by side with Mortadini. Not anymore, but he still has a shot of overtaking the Italian driver who's been struggling a lot this whole season.
The top two have suddenly taken off as there goes Clerk up the inside of
Mondragon.
Mondragon and has actually got it done. Good move from Clerk.
And Altunde tries to make a move on Sheffer, doesn't quite work. Mondragon tries to sneak down inside of Clerk, they bang wheels, that's some dangerous stuff, guys,
Mansell
watch
Clerk
out.
is still on the inside of Mondragon here, and Mansell Clerk holds the position for Campos. I think that's probably one of the top constructors. Both cars are in the top 7, but of course, you could probably get more points for a win.
This is a battle for the championship standings position, as Clerk is right behind Mondragon in the standings.
And Tunde is probably not far behind.
Yeah, the whole top 10 is very close in case of points, so we can expect a lot of changes after this race as well.
Viba in the slipstream of Mortadini, Tunde in the slipstream of Chauffeur, Mondragon making a move. Clerk might be able to see that. Tunde goes up the past, and they're side by side still. Mondragon, looks too good. So Clerk has gone really wide in the first corner and lost an awful lot of time, almost losing a position to
Oh,
Too
that's
Good.
Picadero
And there's a
Mirandola.
spin at turn 4. Big spin there for Picadero.
Oh, dear.
Oh, it's a dangerous rejoin. There go 4 front wings. 4 front wings off in total. That was
Oh, there's
awful.
more.
And another terrible rejoin.
Oh, and there's Stuga's front wing.
What on earth were those guys having for breakfast? Pico della Mirandola spun around by Too Good, who wasn't anticipating him to park the bus. But what is this? You cannot reach.
I mean, this is a steep. The thing is, this is a banked corner. The car is rolling. The brakes are overheated. There's no way they're gonna work.
One front wing, 2 front wing, 3 front wing.
No, there's only 2 front wings.
Oh, only 2 front wings. My bad.
Eastwood avoids damage. Very lucky to do
East
so.
was somehow avoiding damage.
And there is
as did
Too
Herbert,
Good.
And Valcino, who's already had a nightmare of a race. Same with Thomas. Both of them suddenly see Laura Too Good spinning towards them, and then, I mean, I don't know what to say, quite frankly.
We are just left speechless in here.
The drivers have to learn there is no grip there is absolutely no grip when you go on grass. Anyway, the Hillwood Motorsports car of Eastwood is harassing Ferraz, who's lost the front wing. Now Eastwood will be running up in 13th position once he clears him. If he clears him, there we go. Up the
Hannah
inside.
clears him.
Number 25 gets past. Aaron's is still stuck behind Ferraz, though. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely fuming underneath the helmet, but back towards the front, and we've got Mike Chauffeur and Mortadini battling here for 5th position, and with Tunde just ahead in 4th. I think Viba's taken off into 3rd position.
And look at the
Onto the
Mondragon
straight.
already pulling to the inside.
To start lap 11, we only got 7 laps. Then he goes for a
Oh.
double move and makes contact with Mortadini, who does incredibly well to hold that car, but has lost a place to Chauffeur and maybe one to Mansell Clerk in the process. That was a dangerous move from Mondragon, more shunting his rival out of the way.
That's a
than
very
doing it
aggressive
cleanly.
bump and
It's
run.
aggressive. Is it fair? Personally, I don't think it's fair. We'll see what the FIA has to say. But I think there could be a penalty coming his way because he did gain an advantage over other drivers by doing that, and also causing a collision and pushing a car off the circuit. So 3 offences, 3 possible offences for him. Waltrip was out of shape going through that corner, did well to hold on to it. He's under pressure from Isaac for sure, and that is 4 points. As Waltrip goes up the inside of Mansell Clerk, playing the Uda reverse card, going from defending a position to trying to get one. Not successful in his attempts to do that. But yeah, again, as I said at the intro, Zandvoort, no overtaking. We've seen plenty of it. As Johnson and Bivona on the start-finish straight to start the next lap, and look at the speed that Johnson's got. Bivona activating some extra speed here and up to the inside. Goes Devon Johnson on his debut, and he's taken the lead at turn 1. Devon Johnson is up into the lead of the race where he started and hasn't held for very long. But finally, he's back up into that position. On lap 12, we still have the pit stop window to come, remember. But he's into the race lead. He can control this race now.
Blanc, Sheffer, Waltrip and Clerk all just battling. Now I have a question for you. Oh wait, no, Blanc loses it. That was a bit scary for Clerk. I have a question to you, James. It's very early in the championship, but who do you think is going to win it?
I have absolutely no idea. I really have no idea. It's just so unpredictable. You can literally say Xi Jinping will win the next 3 races. You never know. I mean, I'm gonna. You know what? Mortadini. I think he'll win the championship in the Russian time. He seems to be the most consistent, also one of the unluckiest drivers on the grid.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with him.
Fair pick. I think I'm gonna go for Aarons.
You know, Aarons, yeah, he's been quite unlucky as well, but he's been trundling around at 18th position this race, never really getting up as we see it on board now. The ART under pressure from the Russian timer Mortadini, who I just tipped for big things, and Tunde's got ahead of Viva for a podium place. Up ahead of us, Tunde with a big spark
Oh,
of pace.
Johnson
But
absolutely flying away.
look how far ahead these guys are. Remember, there's a pit stop
And
window
there's
still
pit
to
window.
come. These guys are all pitting 3rd and 4th.
Oh, Mortadini runs
wide. He went up the move from Mondragon. He's gone up the inside and gone wide and lost a place.
And there's
The
another
chauffeur
car
in the
off,
process-
and that's
another
Eastwood.
car's off, and that's Eastwood from a points position. Eastwood's thrown the points away.
No.
And Ada Aarons,
She
well,
wasn't
he was
in points.
she was battling for points for sure.
I mean, yeah.
And now has down to 14th under pressure from David Granville and Valcino. Anyway, Ava Valia Kapika and Ronald is trotting around at the back. Of course, we have a couple of retirements so far this race. Tommaso running all the way at the back in 25th position. Has he pitted, Tommaso?
I think he lost the front wing.
Oh yes, he lost the front wing, you're correct. Now, Mondragon and Chauffeur and Mortadini, this has probably been one of the best battles of this race, particularly Mondragon and Mortadini.
Oh,
Mondragon feels the need
parks
to
the
go
bus in the
defensive.
apex.
Of course, the tyres will be a little bit worn, so doesn't want to risk braking a bit too late. He brakes early and defensively. Now Clerc and Blanc going side by side, and Blanc drives around the outside but loses a bit of traction on the exit. Now,
And here we
into
go.
the pits comes Babatunde and Viba from 3rd and 4th position. Mondragon comes in from 5th.
I mean,
Mortadini is staying out.
speaking of, what do I want to say? Because you said like Volchino now at the back. I think it's a case of just like HRT Campos had, where certain tracks don't just suit the cars, don't suit the team.
Very even pit stops for all 3 of those drivers, Tunde, Viba and Mondragon. They're all on their jacks at the same time, and all pretty much off their jacks at the same time.
Yeah, except for Fasher, he loses out the
Fasher
most.
had a really slow pit stop, yeah, and Nicholas
Oh dear,
Bishop,
Bishop.
be careful! Ethan Bishop has just pile drive to the side of Herbert. How is that side pod still as intact as it is? Bishop's now gone around that side turn 3. That is a nice move. Not so much what he did at turn 1. Now everyone's still
Granville is low on fuel. Uh-oh.
could be an issue. I think he'll make it, but never like to see the fuel light come on because there's always the uncertainty that they're not going to make it around the lap.
Mortadini is on the line, but I think he'll make it. Johnson pits in, and this is
So
for the
race
lead.
leader,
This is
2 race
important.
leaders, or formal, well they'll be former race leaders. We'll have to see how is the pit stop. Tunde's was a 9.5 second, and he's running in 3rd position. We can watch in the background. That is Mansell Clerc, not Babatunde. That's Clerc who's coming into the pits now.
And what's it gonna be?
Johnson is away at
8.7.
8.7. It's a much better pit stop. Everyone now coming into the pit lane. It's getting really busy. Gianni Mortadini's had a slightly slow stop. That's Tunde in the background there, just coming around the last corner.
Bivona is stuck in the pits.
Bivona is very much... Oh, Bivona's not had a great pit. No, I think Bivona's
Bivona
already been
is
sent
stuck.
away. Oh no, Bivona's completely stuck. So Bivona's lost the podium here. What has happened? What on earth has Bivona been doing? What absolute chaos! She still hasn't served her pit stop properly.
He did serve his
He
pit
has.
stop.
Oh, okay. Apologies for
Alex
the.
is stuck.
Oh God! There's contact in the pits. Oh, it's all kicking off in the pit lane.
And there's
between
Volchino now. Side by
Blanc, Valcino, and
side.
oh my God, Thomas and Ching now coming out with Pico de la Miranda. That's a recipe for disaster.
Valek
Pico
is
de la Miranda
fitting
goes
this
around
lap.
the
There's a
outside.
wing.
Oh no! But that pit lane causing an awful lot of
And
problems.
that's... Who lost?
Bivona,
Oh no.
Oh, Viba!
Oh,
Viba's
I don't
win is
believe it.
gone. Oh, he's crashed all by himself at the first corner, running in 3rd position.
Who's going to win? No, actually, that's obvious. It's Johnson, but
It's-
What's going on?
Who's going to get third place here? It's complete chaos. Waltrip has gone from 12th up to 4th.
Those are switched back now onto Weber.
But Bivona, he was running in second place, and just like
Look at
allows
this.
it, the
Bishop
wind
is in the points.
completely falling away, and Ethan Bishop is up in 10th position. Does he have to pit again?
I don't think so. I mean, Bishop, regarded as one of the worst drivers by some Red Bull officials, now can score points.
Red Bull Dam was in 10th position, harassing Mike Schofer for 9th. It is happening. It is real. And now Mortadini
And
has
then
dropped to 11th.
Eastwood as
after
well. If any of
Mortadini's
these
dropped to
guys
11th
crash,
after
we can see Eastwood go up into points paying position.
Realistically, anyone from...
And Bishop is
30
actually pitting,
down-
never mind.
Oh no, okay, it's over. Ethan Bishop is pitting, so Mortadini's not waiting around for him to do so. He's on the outside at turn 1.
There's
Lovely
Fascia and
move
Eastwood
finding the
side
grip
by
on the new
side.
tyre.
Eastwood has the outside. Is she gonna set it? No, Fascia blocks the
Fascia's up the inside
blocks
of
the way.
Eastwood.
Bivona down
Wait.
to 13th though.
Still a chance of points, but there's a big difference between the points for 10th and the
Bishop
points
is
for
very low on
second
fuel.
position. No, I think Bishop will make it if we saw Granville make it. But back to the front, both Camposes are running in the top 5. They're doing a Mercedes. Babatunde running in second place and catching Devon Johnson. He's caught 7/10 on just the last lap, but there are only 2 laps to go after this one. I think Devon Johnson's going to hold on to win the race.
Montigny now on the back of Ferraz. Mind you, Emerson Ferraz hasn't scored a point this season, just like the whole team of Status GP and Hillman
Just like-
Motorsport.
It's so weird though, because they've always been running in the top 10, 5, even the podium places.
Yeah, it's
never
just they
for it to
crashed
work out.
out.
They always keep crashing out. This will be their first points. Final relief, a huge a burden off their shoulders as into the pits. There comes Ethan Bishop with only 2 laps to go. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah. And there's the white flag. Here
So
we go.
only one lap to go. White flag here, and Eastwood is on the verge of points on debut. She's just got to
It's
get
only one
past
position.
Isaac Fascia. It's still points. The final points position as they go through turn 4. Bivona is in this fight as well. A mistake from Fascia, and we are going to erupt.
And there's Ferraz low on fuel.
Ferraz is low
Uh-oh.
in fuel. He's
Oh,
got
no, that's
past in
actually
the 8th
normal.
position.
And there's
Waltrip
Clark.
and Clerk are really going for it here.
And
Clark
there's
is up the
Clark.
inside. Clark's up the inside. Can he go around the outside now of Waltrip? Yes, he can. Clark is up in a 4th place on the final lap of this race.
And there's
With only
Herbert
about
catching
5
up.
corners to go.
I don't
And
think
Eastwood
Eastwood
now-
is going to get it, but there's Granville on the outside of Bivona. What's going on?
But at the front, Devon
Johnson wins the Dutch Grand
has
Prix.
won the Dutch Grand Prix feature race. That is a sensational effort from the man on debut. Babatunde gets his first podium, and Andrew Mondragon his first since Bahrain. But what a drive from Devon
Clark
Johnson.
for-
Who's going to win this
Oh.
between Waltrip and Herbert? It's a drag race. It's Waltrip who wins it by 1/10. Chauffeur comes home in 7th, and Ferraz in 8th.
Ferraz is
double
going to
points for that
celebrate.
team.
Eastwood
And
11th.
Washington also scored double points in 9th, and Ted Eastwood just missing out on points. But Devon Johnson, I have never seen a debut performance so good. Qualified on pole, led half the race, never once he got back in the lead.
And
never
also,
looked
this
like
is the
losing it.
first pole to win, lights to flag finish in
It is the
Formula
first Leicester
Junior.
flag win, yes.
Henrik Weber.
Incredible scenes. Absolutely incredible scenes. Weber was fighting for the win. He's going to finish in last.
Oh dear, driver of the race.
Got to be Devon Johnson, no? No, well, let's see. Positions based. I don't know. Both debutants were really impressive. Let's see. I mean, Tunde went from Tunde dropped back and then came back up, but I don't think he's
Also,
a finished
Mondragon
up.
scored the fastest lap.
Mondragon had a good race, I think.
I mean, yeah.
I think it's got to be either Hannah Eastwood or Devon Johnson, one of the 2 debutants. Because imagine the pressure coming into a series, which is already has 4 races essentially under its belt, and doing what those guys did. It's got to be one of them.
Yep. Right.
But anyway, that should wrap us up for race 1. Then join us very shortly after an intermission, where we'll have the qualifying grid and the race all set out for race 2 here in Zandvoort. Zandvoort race 1 was chaotic. So let's see if race 2 is the same. But for now,
Right.
just a small intermission. I'm gonna get another glass of water if that's okay.
Yep.
Data acquisition is off.
Right, yo. Okay. I'm just gonna wait for James to come back. This is how it works, by the way. As using the new software, I cannot really do much. This is how it looks. If you're wondering, this is how qualifying also works in this series. Yeah, hello James.
Hello.
It's sunny conditions now, and we have Hannah Eastwood on pole. That's just interesting. Right, so let's get to the sprint race grid. Okay, so I added one more lap instead. We can roll with it. So it's Eastwood, Waltrip, Blanc, Herbert, Volyak, Too Good, Tunde, Piccadilly Miranda, Atkinson, Tommaso, Clark, Johnson, Sheffer, Thomas, Motidini, Granville, Bishop, Regis, Sheen, Fascia, Volcino, Vibe, Ferraz, Bivona, and Mondragon, and Aarons rounds of the grid. Just so you know, this race is supposed to be 10 laps, but I added one more on accident. Oh well, let's just roll with it.
So, cars start to rev. Sorry for not being there for the intro, but here all the lights, they are all on now, and they were not held for very long at all, and Eastwood's bogged down. Eastwood's not got a good start. Waltrip's on the outside, and Blanc is trying to make it 3 wide through
And
the middle.
Waltrip on the
goes round
outside does it.
Waltrip's taking the lead, and second position might go to Blanc here if he can get the traction on the outside, and he's got past, so Hannah Eastwood's lost 2 places, 3 places. Herbert's gone round the outside now at turn 3, because
No, he will not get it.
Turn 4, Too Good as well. I think Eastwood will hold on to that place as Herbert is now battling with Too Good for 4th position.
Herbert
Let's
now
see.
and Too Good side by side in the
They are
sunny
still there.
Dutch
Ayla Valyak is
sky.
in this battle as well. She's looking to make amends after crashing out of many races previously. Herbert goes around the outside. Valyak is trying to go around the outside as well as they go over the crest now. Too Good in 5th position. Herbert, sorry, Valyak just behind Too
Oh,
Good.
dear.
Oh, there's contact in the background. Is that Babatunde off?
Yep.
It's
No, it's Clerk.
No, it's Clerk. It's Mansell Clerk off. Mansell Clerk qualifying in the top 4. Had a very bad start. We didn't see it. Atkinson's gone in really aggressive that corner there. Look, just contact. He runs a bit wide.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's been hit from behind.
And
He's
that's
been hit
Johnson.
by Devon Johnson, who just won the feature race, and Mansell Clerk sent spinning to the back of the grid after an already pretty terrible start. Spun around.
Very lucky to not reverse.
Yeah, everyone else did very well not to hit into him.
Oh.
Gonna kill the iCar. But yeah, I also wanted to touch upon how good quality the back of the grid is. We have Einar Aarons, we have Mondragon, Bivona, some really good, proven drivers qualifying on the last rows of the grid. As we have Piccadilly Miranda and Babatunde going side by side here. This is for 7th position.
Side by
Through the
side,
last corner.
Tunde sends it.
Tunde's still up the inside and he's got the position, but look at the gap to the top 6 already. It's absolutely enormous. It's the 2 tridents here of Johnson and Piccadilly Miranda and Tommaso in here as well.
Miranda sends it. Oh, and there's
Trying to overtake
contact.
Tunde, and they make contact, and Piccadilly Miranda gets hit on the exit as well, having initially got past, and Tunde holds on to the position. He is not going to let them have that position.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, I can't dissipate, that's good.
And look at Sheffer. So that's with
Brilliant
Granville.
exit on Mike Chauffeur, and Granville is going to take 13th position here if he can hold it. Is he going to be able to do over the crest? Yes, he is. Before they dip down the hill, only to go right back up, pretty much going around a mound of land.
Thomas and Granville now side by side. Granville is going to send it once again, and there's also Sheffer following the race engineer come
Go off
through.
there, contact Chauffeur, almost going into a spin, holding it well, but Mortadini's now up the inside.
Oh, and she now into the back of Mortadini.
Mortadini started in 20th position, he, I think, or even 90th. He's up into 14th position already. Good start for Gianni Mortadini.
Yeah, Gianfranco Mortadini absolutely pushing to the limit in here.
Now, to
Meanwhile,
the front, Devon Johnson's
Johnson.
got past Atkinson. Tunde has picked up. How is Tunde? Oh no, sorry, he hasn't picked up a place. He's still running in 7th position, just the changes around him. I was going to say, how is he caught up to the top 6 so quickly? He hasn't. He
Yeah.
and Tommaso and all the others have just got a little bit closer.
Atkinson and Johnson, obviously Atkinson not having the best of the races previously, but now she can push on. The Japanese driver, she's really consistent, which she proved in round 1 and 2, but, you know...
But do remember, Atkinson, she has to remember, and we do as well, that only the top 8 will score points in the sprint race, not the top 10. So currently, the cut-off for points is not Johnson, it's not Pico della Mirandola, it's Tommaso. He is the final person getting points as it stands. Of course, that is obviously subject to change, but with no mandatory pit stops, you never know.
Too good, and Tunde very close. Tunde absolutely pushing in Sandport today.
Tunde is really going for it here, indeed. He is in the slipstream of Laura Too Good. He's in the slipstream of the ART, almost nudging into the back of the ART, going through one of the tighter complexes of the track, and now 2 more corners to go, 2 quick right-handers.
So far, Waltrip with the fastest lap, and now Tommaso coming up to this pack. This is going to be interesting fight for points.
This will be interesting. Tunde is now sitting pretty in the slipstream. He's already thinking of pulling out, but it's going to be Tommaso who does that instead. And Tunde's almost boxed in here. He's got to make a move quickly, and he has done. Tunde's gone down the inside of Laura Too Good, and
Tommaso follows him through, and they've both done it.
They've both got past. Has he got past Tommaso? Yes, he has.
There's a bit of contact between Too Good and Tommaso.
Tommaso is holding that position, and Pico della Mirandola is looking to pick up the position of Laura Too Good, who's now on the hinge of not scoring points. She's got 2 Tridents stuck right underneath her rear wing, and Atkinson as well, and we got Granville catching them up as well.
Atkinson sends it, but she loses a lot of time now.
This all for the final points position. Atkinson and Johnson running very close together. Johnson goes down the inside on Atkinson, and it doesn't work out. So Atkinson's managed to pick up 10th position effectively now.
You know, Bishop trying to do something.
Apologies, as I said in the intro, I'm quite sick today.
And that's Valcino. Oh no. The championship leader.
The championship leader, the only person to win back-to-back races this season, has gone off.
Oh, it's an engine failure.
That's an engine failure.
I don't believe it.
That is a complete car failure. Complete car failure on Valcino's car. And we have our first mechanical failure. Either the engine failed or the steering locked or something.
It died, that's for sure.
Car's just gone off, yeah, that's very strange. Meanwhile, Waltrip and Blanc have taken away from Eastwood, but Eastwood's still holding down 3rd position, and then we've got Valyak in 4th and Herbert in 5th. These two have not had good seasons so far, and they are going to war at turn 1 here. They're making a lot of contact. Herbert's slower on the exit than Valyak, and now gonna have to deal with Valyak right underneath the rear wing going towards turn 3. Valyak is on the inside, doesn't quite pull it off.
And now they're side by side, and Valyak gets it.
Valyak must have played the switchback and now has better momentum, but they've got Tunde and Tommaso. 4-way battle here for 4th position. Who's going to come out on top here?
Tommaso pulls out of it. He doesn't want to damage
out of it. Valyak goes around the outside of Herbert. Lovely move. And now Tunde fancies on the inside. Gets a nudge from behind. That could have been a spin if Tommaso wasn't careful there.
Atkinson sends it. Atkinson nearly spins. Oh dear, and there's Devon Johnson also involved in that.
And Johnson's going to lose a place to his teammate and also maybe to Thomas here. It's all kicking off here for 4th position as Waltrip has been caught by Blanc. I just said Waltrip had taken off.
And there's Blanc down inside of Waltrip for the lead. The Frenchman is going to do it.
We're at half distance in this race, and Blanc is on the inside of Waltrip, and Blanc...
He gets it.
He's got it. Yeah, he's pulling ahead.
This is MP's Motorsport home race, so now Blanc is absolutely doing them a massive favour.
This is huge for them, as now here comes Herbert on Valyak back for round 2 at turn 1. Tommaso is back in
another nudge.
Oh, contact, Valyak's got wide. Tommaso and Tunde have to be careful, and they are. Tunde's almost lost a place here. Tunde has lost 2 places.
There's more contact. There's Atkinson absolutely going wild. Into the back of Tommaso.
Out of the points is Too Good, and Atkinson are really going for it here. Atkinson being super aggressive, trying to get the places. Tunde's side by side with Too Good now.
Yeah, and I think Herbert is going to get a penalty for that.
And Babatunde will be fuming. He was battling, he was in a chance 4th. He's now running in 9th position, 10th. He's been overtaken by Pico della Mirandola.
Yeah, but there's
Lovely
also
move from Pico della
Thomas.
Mirandola, and Thomas could also pull off a nice one here.
Yeah, but there's also
And has
Mortidini.
done. And Mortadini Tunde is falling down the order.
And then,
Oh, there's a
god,
car upside down! There is a car upside down in the fence!
that's Granville.
It's David Granville.
Oh dear.
And that is a huge crash. So he's just been overtaken by his teammate Xi through the double right-hander.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's going to hit. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's going to hit from behind, and Ethan Bishop's probably been involved in that. That is a big
And
crash.
it's Ferraz. Oh dear. Oh Bishop. Oh god.
Our camera angle doesn't really see it. This one will. Unreal scenes.
So Ferraz just dives it. I mean, he has the room, but he nudges Granville. Oh dear.
He probably doesn't know Bishop's there because that is a 3 wide through that corner. With Bishop already turning for an apex, it's not going to work out.
And that's a wheel off for Granville. I hope he will not be trapped for too long underneath the car, because that's never good. As you
So
see,
more to Bishop, yeah. Bishop is taking. He knows the Granville's there, but he doesn't know anyone else is there. Obviously, doesn't leave space for it, and wow. Oh my goodness, that wheel was close to the head.
hashtag Halo not needed.
That was extremely close to what would probably been a fatal accident.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
2 retirements already. And oh dear.
Oh, this is the battle for 7th position involving pretty much every single person on the face of this planet. We've got Tugud, Pico della Mirandola, we've got Atkinson, we've got Tunde, we've got Thomas, we've got Fascia, we've got Mortadini, we've got Ferraz, we've got everyone you could expect here. Thomas is on the outside of Atkinson. We've only got 4 laps to go. 5 laps to go after this one as they start on to lap 7.
Thomas now
Of
down inside of
11.
Pico della Mirandola. Sends
Thomas on the
it.
inside, gets it. Atkinson losing a place. Tunde losing yet another place to Evan Johnson now. This is anyone's best guess as to who's going to get the positions
This
at
is
times.
just no man's land at this stage. Now dear, there's so much contact, there's so many people running wide. It's
Chauffeur's been
absolute
punting
chaos.
Tunde. Chauffeur punting Tunde the whole way through the corner. Ferraz also punting Devon Johnson all the way through the corner. And now up the hill towards, now back down towards.
Oh god.
Huge crash for Babatunde. That
Oh,
is
God.
an enormous wreck.
Oh,
for Babatunde.
God.
Oh my word, he's over the track. That is an enormous crash for Babatunde. And he is very much out of this race. That is huge.
Oh dear.
What happened here? He's been
Johnson.
hit. Devon Johnson once
Oh,
again.
God.
And, he's flipped over the catch fence.
Oh god.
That is a traumatizing accident for Babatunde. And he was running as high as 5th this race, but he's not. He looks like he's stuck. He obviously wants to get back in the race, but I don't think there's any point. He's dead last, no rear wing, and he is out of this race. And surely that's a penalty coming Devon Johnson's way.
He debuted so well, and then he is from
He's
hero
crashed
to
off.
0.
He's crashed off 2 cars this race, both spectacularly. Both Campos cars he's crashed off. So I don't think the HRT Campos boss will be best pleased with Devon Johnson. As here comes his
And
teammate,
there's
Peter
Mirandola.
Mirandola, and he's also punted Thomas out
Another
the way.
trident.
Mortadini says, thank you very much. My Russian time is going up the inside there, taking the final points position.
Meanwhile, there's Bishop trying to just, wooden spoon and all that. Oh dear.
Ethan
Oh, no,
Bishop
there's
around the outside
Aaron's.
of Regis. Oh, that's Aaron spinning around. Well, somehow stop that car going into a full spin.
I told you,
Incredible
Aaron's
scenes.
is the GOAT of this season.
Aaron's, he doesn't have the points to show for it, but he's driving bloody well, the Estonian. Now, on board with Hannah Eastwood, who's caught us the front
Oh,
too.
that's a mistake
Hannah's
from
made
Waltrip.
contact with Waltrip also making a mistake, not helping with that and going even wider. And there goes Hannah Eastwood up into 2nd place and now can sniff the victory with only 3 laps to go after this one. Sorry, my voice died there completely.
Yeah, I mean,
Waltrip is in the
understandable.
slipstream. Waltrip in the slipstream with Eastwood here.
If you want me, I
Also in
can
the
take
slipstream of
over.
Blonde. No, it's okay. My voice has been... I can kill my voice over the car, don't worry.
Look
It'll be
how
fine
close
for
the top
LMS
3
tomorrow.
are.
This is gonna be really, really close.
On
Through turn
board
3 and
with the
4.
dams.
Down and up. Staying up underneath the total gantry. And Eastwood is still really in the situation of block. Eastwood might fancy a move here. But look at how quickly the Downs Red
she
Bull is
pulls to
catching.
the outside, doesn't do it,
Waltrip
and
goes
there's
on the
Waltrip.
inside. Walter's on the inside, and has he got the place? God,
No.
not quite. He wanted to shove Eastwood off the track, but he couldn't. Waltrip has not gone into second place, and now they've lost time to Blanc. Blanc is 1.4 seconds up the road now. 1.3 seconds, sorry.
Yeah, Waltrip, that's so weird, he didn't pull off the move. Great defense from Eastwood though, that's definitely
Yeah,
a
I'm
thing
sure
to say.
Waltrip was just like, I just want to push her off the track, but of course you can't do that because Eastwood was more than alongside.
Yeah. Down the order, there is a bit of a train, but they all seem to be spaced out, except for these guys as Fasher dives in onto Clerk, gets
This
the
is the
position.
battle for 20th position. I mean, sure, I guess.
Tunde, Granville,
Yeah,
and
Tunde
Valcino,
retired
the
from
most
this race.
retirements we ever had in the race. 2 laps to go. It's all going down. As Herbert is now
Herbert has
catching
now
up.
caught these guys, and Ava Valyak is not too far behind, so if they keep battling like this...
But mind you, Herbert might get a penalty for punting Valyak off 2 times.
Yes, but... Yeah, it could be. Valyak is still running around in 5th, only 2 seconds behind Herbert, though, so... I would severely doubt if there would be a penalty coming Herbert's way, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Now, through this corner again, and then look at how close they all are. Sideways there for Waltrip. Through the corner,
Eastwood
up the inside
sends
goes
it.
Herbert. Herbert and Eastwood both sending moves. Neither comes off.
And Eastwood
but
sends it for the lead, and she's in the lead. The Hillman
Hannah Eastwood has
Motorsport,
taken the lead, and now here comes Herbert trying to 2 places in 1.
2
But losing
wide.
2 places in 1 at the same time. Yes, he's lost 2 places in 1. Waltrip has got the position now. Ava Valyak is right on Herbert's tail. Tommaso's only 3.7 seconds behind. He was 6.8 at the start of the lap. These guys are really slowing down as Hannah Eastwood has taken off into the lead of this race.
Meanwhile, in the background, Atkinson and Johnson still going at it.
This is for 10th position. This isn't even for points anymore. For points is what Pico della Miranda in the other trident is fighting for, which
Yeah,
would
but
be with
it's-
Gianni Mortadini, who's a little bit up the road, fighting with Laura Tugan. How is Laura Tugan still in the points? She's been overtaken about 1,000 times this race.
Consistency.
Look at the straight line speed of the Russian time in the slipstream.
Yeah,
Up the
Mortadini
inside
get-
on the last lap of the first corner, and Mortadini's got
Meanwhile,
the
oh
place.
dear.
As Blanc has dropped down to 4th, maybe even
What happened
5th.
here? Oh.
Oh, Waltrip's punted Blanc a little bit wide,
Oh, that's a bit dirty.
and has really rather defended quite dirtily. We kind of missed it, but that was defensive driving, very dirty
And
defensive
there's
driving.
Valyak sending up to Blanc, and she's through. The
Valyak has
correction's
taken
through,
4th
never
place, but
mind.
no, half spin, massive kick of oversteer. And
There's also
Ava
Tommaso.
Valyak-
And Tommaso
This
sends
is-
it on to Valyak. Valyak is dropping positions left, right, and
Valyak is
centre.
dropping really far down the order here. But meanwhile, this is gonna
Sheffer
be
trying
so
to
close.
do anything, not gonna work pretty much.
the leaders are coming into the final couple of corners now.
Waltrip
And what-
still trying to do something, still trying to pull in, but it's not gonna work. And we're going to see a repeat of the feature race as
Hannah
debutant
Eastwood
of
comes
Hannah Eastwood
around.
is going to win.
Hannah Eastwood comes around the final corner to make it 2 out of 2 for the debut win.
Oh, and look at Blanc!
And it's a drag race from Blanc and Herbert, and Herbert gets podium spot. And Tommaso did get up here, and he did beat over
There's Mortadini,
Gianni
and
Mortadini
Laura
comes
took it
to
finally
7th.
scores points.
Laura Tugan gets 8th position, 1 single point.
Weber
Wow.
into the pit, okay.
Weber ran out of fuel and had to pit.
I mean, that's just,
He wasn't, in the
Skinner.
he wasn't in the points anyway, but another what the F moment.
And there's Vivona.
What could have been for her in the first race? Sorry, him in the first race.
Is even
Ooh.
worse right now. And he doesn't even pass Weber.
And who got the fastest lap? Let's have a look.
Fastest lap is
Hannah-
Vivona.
Yvonne, of
Oh, the
course, it's
irony.
always the person in last. But anyway,
Oh dear.
driver of the day now, we can say.
Oh dear. Of the
It's
whole
gonna be
day, I'm
hard.
gonna say Eastwood. I'm gonna say Eastwood.
I could say, I'm thinking Richard Waltrip. He had very good
I mean,
races.
yeah.
He had 2 very good races. Mine is Richard Waltrip.
I would agree as well. And Mortadini as well, scoring points finally.
Mortadini from the very back of the grid up to 7th. Good race for him.
Yeah. Right, so that was that. So that was it for today. Oh gee, I'm gonna miss this as we're gonna have 1 week of break. Next race is the British Grand Prix. Oh dear, that's gonna be an interesting one.
This is going to be interesting. Don't miss it. But for now, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me. Remember to be safe on the roads, wear your seatbelt and don't drink while driving. See you next time and bye bye.